didn't know that because we had talked about that before, you know, and it wasn't said like that. So I'm kind of like, oh, maybe I'm lost.
Y'all, let me tell you what just happened, because it felt like something straight out of a movie, but it was very real. Stormi didn't just show up to court. She came ready, calm, confident, and with one folder in her hand that changed everything in a matter of seconds. You could feel it the moment she entered. She wasn't there to play around, she had a purpose, and it showed. If you've been keeping up with all the drama surrounding Stormi and Marsau, then you already know people have been whispering about their situation for a long time. This wasn't new. There have been rumors swirling around them for months.
Is there something that was said on camera that made you feel that way?
Was it? Not on camera, not with the show, no. More so in interviews, like interviews.
My interview?
I can't remember if it was your interview, but it was other interviews for sure.
Late night visits to salons, private conversations, suspicious social media moves, every little detail had fans speculating. And who can forget that one time Marsau got real defensive the moment Stormi's name was mentioned on the show. It felt like something deeper was going on, and it turns out we were right. But nothing truly prepared anyone for what was about to unfold. Nothing felt real until Stormi stepped into that courtroom and dropped something no one saw coming: a DNA test. Yes, a real, official one. No fan theories.
It's been a tough year. It's been a tough year. Not for me, but for, the people that are around me. And so I just want to say that God is a good guy. God is a good guy, and He brought us through a lot.
No gossip blogs. No anonymous sources. This was the real deal, and it happened right in front of everyone. When she handed over those documents, it was like the entire room froze. Even Latisha, who's usually composed, looked completely stunned. And Marsau? He looked like he saw a ghost. His usual calm, collected self was gone. For the first time in a long time, he had no control over the moment. Now let's rewind for a second, because something strange happened before all this blew up.
I think that if you date women and you see how it is, Carlos, I think you might just like it. I think you might get delivered. Just try once. Just like, ooh, no.
People started noticing Stormi had gone quiet. And when I say quiet, I mean silent. No posts, no selfies, no skincare tips, not even a good morning quote. She disappeared from Instagram and all social media for weeks. And if you know Stormi, you know that's not like her at all. She's always sharing something, whether it's family moments or her business updates. So when everything went quiet, fans started wondering. One person commented, "Storm's been way too quiet lately." And they weren't wrong. Something was definitely happening behind the scenes. Even when she was on camera, something felt off. Her glow wasn't there. She wasn't her bubbly self. Her mind seemed elsewhere, like she was carrying a secret too heavy to hold in any longer. And now we know why. Stormi wasn't just guessing Marsau was involved. She had proof. Real legal proof. She went through the court system and actually subpoenaed Marsau for a DNA test. And y'all, you don't just wake up one day and decide to do that for fun. That takes time, legal help, documents, and a solid reason. This wasn't just drama for views or likes. This was real life, and there were real consequences. You see, judges don't just approve DNA tests out of nowhere. There has to be a strong case. So, Stormi must brought something to the table. Maybe messages, phone calls, timelines? We don't know all the details yet, but we know it was enough for a judge to say, okay, let's find out the truth. And that right there tells us this wasn't just some random accusation. This had weight to it. He was shifting in his seat, glancing around the room like he was nervous. Latisha walked in with her chin up, but you could see in her eyes that she was bracing for something. Then it happened. The lawyer stood up and read the results of the DNA test. A 99.98% match. That's not a maybe. That's not a possibly. That's a match. Marsau Scott, was confirmed to be the biological father. The room went dead silent. You could hear people gasp. Even Mauro just leaned back in his chair and said nothing. No response. No denial. Just silence. Stormi didn't gloat. She didn't make a scene. She just nodded, like she had finally gotten the confirmation she already knew in her heart. But Latisha? That's when everything fell apart. Latisha completely lost it. She slammed her hands on the table and stood up, yelling that it was all a setup, that the whole thing was fake. Her voice echoed in the courtroom. People were stunned. This wasn't the Latisha we were used to, the one who stays calm and collected, who always protects her family's image. She was falling apart right there in front of everyone. One woman who was there said, "I never thought I'd see Latisha like that." She wasn't just angry, she was shattered. Court officers had to come over and talk to her, trying to calm her down. She was shaking, crying. It wasn't just pain. It was humiliation, and the whole world saw it happen. There's video footage too. You can see her pointing, yelling, being helped out of the room. It's heartbreaking. No matter what she knew or suspected, hearing it out loud, in front of all those people, was too much. After all that chaos, Mauro finally broke his silence. He made a short, shaky video where he admitted, "I made mistakes. I didn't expect it to come out like this. That's all I have to say." It wasn't slick. It wasn't rehearsed. It looked like a man who had been exposed and couldn't spin the story anymore. For once, he looked tired, not just physically, but emotionally drained. But guess what? Stormi wasn't done yet. Turns out, she didn't walk into court alone, her family came too, and they had their own receipts. Her cousin Chiara went live on Instagram and showed private DMs from Mauro, where he was basically begging Stormi to stay quiet. In one voice message, you can hear him say, "This will ruin everything if it gets out. Please let me handle it." That's not something you say if you've got nothing to hide. Her aunt, who works at the salon, also came forward. She told the court Mauro visited late at night, while Stormi was still pregnant more than once. And that salon closes early, so there was no reason for him to be there except personal ones. That's not gossip. That's real testimony from people who saw it with their own eyes. And after that, fans turned into detectives. They pulled up old deleted videos, slowed them down, studied timelines, compared voices. Some even used software to match Mauro's voice in those messages with clips from the show and the voices. Almost identical. People even started looking at old reunion episodes differently. One fan said, "Go watch season 6 again." Every time Stormi spoke, Mauro looked nervous, like he knew something could slip. Another added, "Latisha always had this look in her eyes, like she didn't believe the story, but she didn't want to face the truth." Since that day in court, Latisha has vanished from social media. Her business pages are still up, but she's gone silent. Not a single word. Not a quote. Not even a post about staying strong. Word on the street is she might be talking to lawyers, not just about divorce, but possibly about custody and even legal action against the show. Why? Because if she feels like the producers knew and didn't warn her, or if she thinks the show used her personal life for ratings, she could go after them too. And that's major, because Latisha is a big part of the show. If she leaves or sues, it could shake everything up. Now, some fans are asking, did Stormi plan all this? Was the timing on purpose? She's been quiet, but also closing deals and working behind the scenes. And then, boom, she drops the DNA truth right when the cameras aren't rolling, but contracts are being negotiated. Smart? Maybe. Calculated? Possibly. Because now, she's not just a side character. She's the center of the storm. The whole internet is talking about her. She went from being part of the drama to owning it. That's next level. But the real question is, was this revenge? Or was it just the truth finally coming out? Let us know what you think in the comments. Was Stormi just tired of hiding the truth? Or did she plan this from the start to hit hard when it mattered most? Either way, one thing's clear, nothing will ever be the same. See y'all in the next video.